Thinking about moving to Estes Park, Colorado? Well, this is the video for you. Let's get started. Hi there, Christy Lee here, and I am a local real estate agent in the state of Colorado, but more importantly, I am a native of Colorado. If you're new to my channel, all of my videos are catered to my most favorite places to live, to visit, to bring my family. If that's something that interests you, please click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. All right, as much as I love making these videos for you, I love hearing from you more. So please reach out to me anytime if you have any questions about moving to Colorado, Estes Park, anything like that. My contact information is right there. All right, so I've had a lot of people reach out to me about Estes Park, and I absolutely have to say that this is my most favorite place to visit. My family and I come out here all the time, so I was really excited about making this video. So I do want you to know there are some very specific things that you should know about this town before moving here to make sure it is a right fit for you. So the first one I want to mention is it's very small. So Estes Park is only about 10,000 people in its population. But for the most part, I mean, that's who lives here. But for the most part, you have to deal with a lot of tourists in this city or this town. Tourists, it's one of the most major populated tourist destinations pretty much in the world. Estes Park is absolutely gorgeous, and there's no doubt on why people want to come out here. You have Rocky Mountain National Park, so we are the gateway of Rocky Mountain National Park. So people come out there for camping, for fishing, for hiking, all of that good stuff. It is a well-known national park in this area, as well as the Stanley Hotel. So the Stanley Hotel is a landmark out here. I actually got married there. I love the Stanley, but it is a very historic site out here. And it's made its name mainly because of the movie The Shining, as well as Dumb and Dumber. So people want to come out here and take a look at the Stanley Hotel every time they come to Estes Park, but that's also one of the big draws to come out to Estes in general. So if you're planning on moving out here and actually having it being your residence full time, just know that the city as a whole is very, very small, but when people are out here, a majority of them are going to be tourists. So you have to deal with the tourist season pretty much year round. I will say though, it's mainly summertime that you're going to get most tourists. The wintertime, Estes Park does tend to die down quite a bit. So, you're going to come out here, a lot of the stores or the restaurants will shut down right around that 7 or 8 o'clock mark, just because there's not a whole lot to do in Estes Park during the wintertime. So that's also something that you should know if you move out here, is that there really isn't any nightlife for sure, but if you're planning on eating or anything like that past, let's just say 8, it might be kind of hard for you to find anything just because it does die down right around that time. Another thing I want you to know, and kind of to piggyback off of it being a pretty small town, is the fact that there is very lack of, let's just say, amenities. I mean, there's only 2 grocery stores. There's actually just a Safeway and then kind of like a mom and pop place. There's definitely no box stores out here. So if you're wanting to go to like a Walmart or a Target, anything like that, there is none of that. As far as clothes shopping, you're definitely going to have to go down the hill for that too. Longmont and Boulder are going to probably be your closest places to go. You just don't have any of those things. You have a lot of touristy places. You have a lot of taffy and candy and ice cream shops, and then a lot of the souvenir shops are going to be out here too. So if you are a local and you do live out here, you do need to plan kind of ahead of time. If you need some of those bigger items, maybe that you need maybe at Costco, or maybe new shirts or whatever like that, Amazon is awesome. They do come out here, so you could obviously order all of your goods that way. But for the most part, the people who live out here, they definitely have to plan on going down the hill. So you're going to be looking at about 40 minutes or so to get down to Boulder or to Longmont, and those are going to be your closest. That is one thing that is great about Estes Park, is that even though we are in the mountains, you are still close to those major cities that if you do need something of a larger item, you know, even like furniture and stuff, if you think about it, there's like no furniture stores, anything like that. So you will have to kind of pre-plan your day or your weekend if you're planning on getting or needing any of these items. So Estes Park, because it is so popular, tends to be pretty expensive to live out here. So the average, or the median house price right now in 2022 is going to be about $700,000. Now you can get something less than that, but I was even looking just even recently, you could get something in the $300,000 and $400,000 mark, but those are pretty much going to be a 1-bedroom condo right around that 500 square foot mark. You're not going to get a whole lot, I'm not going to lie. You're going to have, for the most part, it's going to be about 700 plus if you want an actual house or cabin. So do kind of keep that in mind if you plan on moving up here, that it is going to be a little bit more expensive. You're mainly paying for the lifestyle of being up here in Estes Park. It is by far one of the prettiest places I've ever experienced, and that's why we do come out here all the time, but it is very expensive to live here. Now, another thing you should also be aware of, if you plan on moving here and you can't find a house maybe right off the bat, or maybe you don't want to buy right off the bat, please make sure you do your research prior to coming up here, because those long-term rentals, they're just few and far between. There's none of those, you know, major apartment complexes, anything like that. There's just not going to be up here. It's going to be mainly people who are renting out their condos or their houses, and their long-term rentals are going to be few and far between. So do your research on that. Short-term rentals you could find all day long. This is a hot spot for vacation rentals. So you will find those all over the place, but the long-term rentals will be a little bit harder. So just kind of keep that in mind prior to moving up here. Another major thing that I want you to be aware about, and it's also just Colorado in general, but it is the weather. So Estes Park is going to be higher in elevation than obviously Denver and Boulder. I mean, we're in the mountains, okay? So it is usually going to be a tad bit cooler than it is going to be down in the foothills, but it is going to change drastically like it does down in Denver, let's just say. So Colorado in general is kind of all over the board, but you know, you just need to be aware of that when you move up here. That, I mean, I honestly don't think I've ever been up here where it like didn't drastically change at some point, raining, you know, snowing, whatever it might be. So just kind of keep aware of that. Usually bring a coat with you, have it in the car ready to go. It is a little bit windier up here too, just because we're kind of in that valley and we get a lot of the wind coming right off the mountain. So you do get a little bit windy, as you can tell. It's a little bit windy even when I'm talking right now. So, you know, kind of have that in the back of your mind too if you plan on moving here or even visiting, that it is going to be a little bit windier. But, you know, for the most part, it's absolutely gorgeous weather. We do get the 300 days of sunshine, just like the rest of Colorado. So it is absolutely gorgeous. Also, having it be higher in altitude though, do make sure that you are prepared for that, because altitude sickness is a real thing. So make sure your body prepares for that before either visiting or moving here, because it will take a little bit of time for your body to adjust. You will probably get headaches or, you know, feel nauseous or sick. You know, just kind of keep prepared for that. You do, you know, drink a lot of water, make sure you're getting a lot of, make sure you're eating a lot, and don't drink a whole lot of alcohol, especially if you're not used to it yet. Stay away from that for a little bit, just so your body can adjust. So I'm I'm sure that you know that obviously Estes Park is absolutely gorgeous and they're known for their views. So their views are amazing. And what's really cool about being in this area is all the wildlife you actually do see on a daily basis. You will see the elk and the moose just walking across Main Street. You know, my little son, he was feeding chipmunks the other day when we were up here camping. So you see all of these wildlife all the time. I do want you to be aware though, if you do plan on visiting or moving here, make sure you stay away from the wildlife. The big ones, do not go up and try to pet them or feed them because they are obviously in their element and we don't want anybody to get hurt. And there's stories all the time about people trying to get selfies with a moose and get attacked. So obviously we don't want that to happen to you, or I don't want that to happen to you. But it is pretty cool seeing all the wildlife just walking around doing their thing here in Estes. And if you lived here, you got to see that all the time. So that is Estes. I hope that helped. I would love to hear from you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment right there below. That way, let me know if you have been to Estes, if you love Estes. Please reach out to me anytime. I'm here to help you in any way possible. And then to the next video, take care.